This is Comet Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Good evening, Jason Glick. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing not too bad. What do you have for us today?
Okay, well, this week it was one of those weeks where it's like I had just no idea what to talk about. I mean, there was no comics that started that caught my eye. There were no series that had reached their oh, I have to talk about them now, or series that had wrapped up where I had to offer my full summation on. So it's kind of like, I was kind of like, okay, well, what's left? Okay, well, time to just go look at the bookshelf and see what do we have here. So I decided to settle on a specific genre from a specific author, a French author by the name of Guy Delisle, who has come to fame over the last couple of years for doing a series of travelogues, either as work for as an animator, or with his wife in Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders. So, but what has really made this guy's name is his first work, and more than any of the other works I'm going to be talking about here. This is the one that I highly recommend more than anything else. That you got to pick this up, and that's called Pyongyang, A Journey in North Korea. Because yes, this guy spent several months in North Korea. I mean, and yeah, we know that they've been they've just been acting crazy for the last couple months. I mean, yes, there was all this angst about oh, they're going to fire this missile, and then they're going to start World War III and whatnot, and then the Boston bombings happened, and they just got pushed off of the news with all due force, and no one's heard from them since. So I can only imagine that the missile launchings didn't quite go the way they were planning. Anyway, Delisle's time in Pyongyang is almost a decade old, and basically to the point where he's talking about. He went there during the time of Kim Jong-il. There's even a reference to his son, current North Korea dictator Kim Jong-un, trying to get into Tokyo Disneyland and failing. But this isn't like a he's like but Pyongyang isn't like a screed or a propaganda tool against their North Korea, and it says it's just like Delisle just telling it like it is, just relating his experiences as they were during the during his time in North Korea. I mean, it's telling when it's like when you start off and they're just it's like he's dealing with the with customs protocol. And first thing he's taken to is like a giant it's a giant bronze statue of Kim Il Sung, the current founder of North Korea. It's in the communist era, and also taken to a hotel which has no power in most. In its dining halls when no dignitaries are there, has wet dirty tablecloths, and just it's like he's also dogged by a translator and a guide throughout the entire journey, just to make sure that he doesn't see things that are not meant to be seen, and is given the best possible impression of the country as well. It's like it's weird. It's weirdly compelling because you get to see him just go through the daily job of making sure all the animation job he's sent to oversee turns out all right. I mean, there's a great bit where he sees these animation cells these workers they drop these cells and they start flying up over the building. It's like that's hilarious, seeing everyone trying to scramble below them, but then he knows, oh wait. Holy crap, is that my job? Oh, no, wait, it's Corporal Maltese. It's someone else. So it's got fun. It's not like a relentlessly depressing story. I mean, you've got him interacting with other people in North Korea, just selling selling software, or just like doing NGO work, but this is an essential read, mainly because it offers a like a ground level view inside one of the it's like this the sealed off country. I mean, this is a country where everyone believes that everyone drank the Kool-Aid. I mean, they're kept. There's no outside internet, and everyone is kept from knowing exactly what's going on. I mean, at one point, Delisle asks his guide, hey, what do you feel about unification between North and South Korea? And his guide says, oh no, it's all the Americans. They're just keeping us from unifying. And then Delisle offers his own thoughts about how, hey, it's like we saw. Apparently, South Korea is in no hurry to reunify because they saw what happened to East and West Germany, and they're not looking to inherit all of your economic woes and high unemployment. And then there's also more disturbing bits. I mean, we don't get to Delisle notes that there are re-education camps in North Korea, but he's never taken to see any of those. He also notes there are some shooting galleries where average people are trained to shoot American and Japanese soldiers. I mean, at one point his guide he asked what are these guys shooting at down there? Like, oh no, it's probably a game. Don't need to worry about that. But then he's told later on that's what they're actually shooting against. North Korean, Japanese and American soldiers. And also, one point his guide tells him his guide talks about we have this one great animator where he was really good at his job and did great work. And he said, oh, well, and then Delisle asks, well, what happened to him? Oh, he left. Oh, where'd he go? No, he left. And just like Delisle, you figure out, just what exactly happened to this guy. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's an essential read, but at the same time, it's not thoroughly depressing or or didactic in its views. I mean, one thing that it's worth noting is that Delisle does work in a somewhat cartoonish style. I mean, it's he's not looking for real photorealism or intricate detail. And a buddy of mine, I tried to sell him on this earlier this week, and he looked at this and said, oh, no, this wasn't what I was expecting at all. It's he just oh, look at all these Z's as he's sleeping. That's I don't want this. I want something realistic, like Joe Sacco of Palestine doing reporting right there. And that's just not going to happen because I'm sure as soon as Sacco steps foot in Palestine in North Korea, they're just going to say, oh, no, you're not coming in at all. So at the same time, this is probably the most detailed picture of North Korea we're going to get in just about any medium, and it's a thoroughly informative thing as well. I mean, yes, it's over 10 years old, but at the same time, I really can't imagine things have changed much. It's particularly with Il-sung, continuing business as usual, even if there is more saber rattling as well. So more than anything else I talk about here, Pyongyang is the one Delisle travelogue you need to buy. Now, he followed this up with a less intense work, Shenzen, a travelogue from a city in China. Now, Shenzen isn't a highly it is somewhat urbanized. It's kind of your average industrious China city, and he also went here to work on animation. It's animation as well. And he also did a much different drawing style here. Well, it's while Pyongyang the lines were weren't quite as stencil, were fairly simple and not quite as stencilish. Delisle went full on with the stencils here, and it creates a much different work as well. It's but Shenzen is easily the most ordinary of his work. I mean, he's not observing a dictatorship. He's just visiting this city in China, just dealing with just getting along with people who he doesn't know, who he can't share the language with, and just like seeing the sights as well. I mean, it's at the same time it's interesting just how relaxing things are compared to his other works. I mean, there's bits where he talks about like going to see a Chinese dentist and being scared off by seeing the production line style work that's going on there, and also just getting used to like the fact that at times there's no running water in his animation studio, so sometimes he has to just use their squat toilets after someone else has taken a shit in there. So there's things like that, and also just dealing with like the mass of people in there as well. Just like crossing the street is a special ordeal as well. But there's lots of fun personal anecdotes. Just sharing New Year's with one of the studio workers, observing the spread of mold underneath underneath a desk as well, and visiting Hong Kong as well, and also just talking about all the food he eats during the trip too. And it's like Shenzen was one of the books that I picked up to do this podcast, and I hadn't read it before doing this. But it's like to be honest, I would actually be more interested in seeing just books like this that don't advance a certain point of view, and it's like, well, not advance that don't observe say a dictatorship or a civilization under some kind of oppression. And yeah, well, there's kind of oppression in China, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's more mainstreamed than anything else. But then he went back to observing dictatorships with his next book, Burma Chronicles, and this is his first work where he didn't visit the country as an animator. He visited with his wife as a member of Medica Sans Frontiers, Doctors Without Borders, and kind of the tone is established really. It's like is established quite well in the first bit where he's playing with his young 1-year-old son Luis, and finds out from his wife that they're going to Guatemala. So he says, I can prepare for this by looking at my Star Trek DVDs in Spanish. Oh, look, there's El Spock. So, but then then his wife tells him, "Oh no, we're going to Myanmar." Myanmar, Burma. It's like, and then he checks his language settings on Star Trek and says, "No, don't have that." So, Burma Chronicles is kind of it's equal parts just fun anecdotes about raising a 1-year-old. It's like in the country, getting socializing with the expatriates, and also observations about its political state as well. To be honest, it's like a night. If Delisle was going to establish a nice formula for his work from here on out, Burma Chronicles is a nice balance of both personal observations as well as observations about the country that he's visiting as well. I mean, there's there's fun bits where he's just going around the city with his son Luis, and how everyone in the country would just look and say, "Oh, hey, he's a little white baby. That's so cute." And then when he goes around without it, no one acknowledges him at all. And it's interesting. And then you also got him just, going into the George realizing that, I can't get any legitimate software here, but I can buy Warcraft 3 pirated, and so there you go. And then there's also little bits where he just realizes, I don't have any milk to go with my coffee, but I can use my son's instead. And this is also contrasted with other bits where he talks about going to visit its now freed president Aung San Suu Kyi, and she was still under house arrest at the time he was there, and then he finally towards the end of the book he finally gets to drive by her house and acknowledge her. So it's a nice Burma Chronicles is like I said, it's a nice fun book that splits on the balance between political commentary and personal observation. And to be honest, though, And I also prefer to his most recent work, which is still in hardcover, and that's Jerusalem, Chronicles from the Holy City. Now, if you got any inkling of the political situation in Jerusalem, you can know that this is going to be a much more this is going to be like less political than this is going to be more political than his previous works because there's no way you can't be not political about this city considering its history. I mean, he starts off with the book with by flying over, talking about his plane trip over, and then like this one his seatmate just managing to calm down his his new 1-year-old daughter, and then he also notices that, hey, this guy's got numbers tattooed on his arm. He's a concentration camp survivor, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the book right there. I mean, there is going to be a lot of talk about the situation there between the Jews, the Arabs, the Muslims, Christians. That's all the different political and religious factions that occupy Jerusalem, and the crazy situation that the city's enveloped in. I mean, at the same time, though, it's what am I trying to say? It's still interesting. I mean, like Delisle has a nice matter of fact tone that doesn't make anything what he's saying seem judgmental. I mean, it's always, everything he says here is kind of like tempered with the feeling that he's just relating it as it is. I mean, it's just some like surreal bits, such as a psychologist explaining to his daughter why she shouldn't take the psychologist's teddy, but then he says, well, why do you have a teddy? He says, oh, I always sleep with it. It's a transition object and a surrogate attachment figure to help me unwind. At which point, Delisle goes on to tell his daughter, don't touch Teddy. And then, let's see. Then you've also got just other weird bits where he loses his keys between the he drops his keys between the gap between the elevator and the floor, and so he has to go in MacGyver. It's beautiful. I mean, like, they actually use MacGyver as a verb in this. In this volume, so I have to give props to the translator. Who did the translation for this? I know. Oh, Helga Dasha, and French done like all of his works because he's French, and so had to have someone translate them. So props for using MacGyver's verb right there. I like that. And and you also, and other surreal bits, such as having the supervisor for his son Luis's school he's an American, but he's also talking. But the series takes place prior to the 2008 elections, and the supervisor's going on, oh, I voted for McCain because Obama's real name is Hussein. That's an Arab name. And then he says also Israel's a mistake. It's on YouTube. Barack Hussein Obama. Can you imagine? And then he asks his son, well, how's the after-school program? Oh, it's great. The monitor's awesome. How come? Oh, no reason. So it's got fun asides like this that pepper the book and keep things from getting too focused on how really relentless and hopeless the situation is right there, while at the same time giving you stories about the how completely fucked up the Arab Jews conflict is there. I mean, it's not quite the same as Joe Sacco's Palestine, but at the same time it's much different, less focused, but also just less judgmental book as well. It's also, and yes, it is probably one of the most overtly political things he's done, just by the sheer amount of conflict he runs into with working in the Gaza Strip and just dealing with the Palestinians as well. I mean, whenever he travels out of the country to visit a comics thing, because at this point, Pyongyang has gotten him international attention, so he's leaving to keep doing talks conferences in Iceland and whatnot. And whenever he leaves the country, he always has to talk about, he realizes that he can't talk about I should work with Palestinians. If I mention them, it's going to exponentially complicate my travel time. So there's that as well. I mean, Jerusalem is an interesting book, but at the same time, it's kind of like you've got that. Like I said, it is kind of weighed down by the same kind of conflict that has mired its region in for decades. And at the same time, though, Pyongyang represents his best, most compelling and informative work. So more than anything else, I highly recommend that. If you, like I said, all of these are worth reading, but Pyongyang above all else. So, John, it's any particular thoughts on your end, or are you still awake after all my rambling about stuff?
No, stuff. It's interesting that this is the format he chose to express it in. His journeys and some of the situations he encountered.
Yeah, I think it comes from just his background in animation. I mean, that actually plays in a lot to his travels. Actually, I mean, just about every place in Pyongyang and Shenzhen, he's working in animation specifically, but in Burma Chronicles and Jerusalem, he actually winds up doing animation workshops for the people for some of who he meets there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, and he's from Canada.
Yes, yeah, he's French Canadian.
French Canadian, yes.
Yeah, though as we note in the books, he does live in Canada, and because they talk about all the logistic problems in Burma Chronicles and Jerusalem in bringing back much more stuff than he brought with him on those trips.
Yeah, well, pretty cool. I might have to check it out.
Yeah, like I said, Pyongyang above all else.
Okay, yeah. All right, and do you know what you're going to talk about next time? No.
Secret treasures of manga, or hidden treasures of manga.
Ooh, that sounds good. We need to do a good manga podcast here. All right.
Yes, because we will be doing this from San Jose next time.
Sounds like a plan. Excellent. All right. Until next time, we'll catch you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.